How's everybody doing today? Excellent. Let's get excited. Come on. Who loves liberty? Well, this is the biggest crowd I've spoken in front of, so I'm still trying to get used to the whole public speaking thing, so bear with me. It's a great turnout, and thank you, everybody, for helping support the Libertarian Party of the state of Wisconsin. It is truly exciting to watch the Liberty Movement grow and to be a part of this. My name is Jacob VandenPlas, and not only am I running to be the vice chairman for the state of Wisconsin, I am indeed also running to be the 8th Congressional District Representative in 2022. And looking at the tables, it looks like the 8th Congressional District is representing the best here. I like it. Each of these tasks is a tremendous mountain to climb. A little bit about me. I was born and raised in a tiny little town called Abrams, Wisconsin, with two amazing folks. A very simple childhood. We didn't have a whole lot growing up, but we did have a whole lot of what actually mattered. And that was a lesson that I never caught on to until it was a little bit later in life. I graduated from O'Connell Falls High School. I'd tell you the year, but it's starting to make me feel a little old. After graduating high school, I immediately left for Fort Benning, Georgia, to the United States Army Infantry School. Myself and two other soldiers were the very first two soldiers from the state of Wisconsin to actually go to the United States Army Infantry School. I happen to like being the first. I also want to be the first libertarian to make it to Congress. Let's get fired up, come on. Now, the Army Infantry had a slogan. It was, "Follow me, I am the infantry." Now, this is important for two reasons. One, we were the first into battle, so naturally, it was fitting. Second, it set the standard for each and every one of us. We were out front. The eyes are on you. We lead from the front. We exemplify the core values of the United States Army above all around us. The values of honor, loyalty, and integrity, personal courage, and selfless service is what made us the leaders we were expected to be. A cut above, and we held ourselves accountable to that with great pride, and I see that with a lot of people here in this room tonight. Those values have not left me and will always be a part of my life no matter where I go. Currently, my beautiful wife and I own and operate Door County Farm, LLC in Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin. We grow a lot of produce for direct sales to consumers, along with several restaurants and a few grocery stores. We also have a lot of livestock. We got 3 goats, because goats are awesome. We've got 10 feeder pigs, a large flock of birds to include laying hens, guinea hens, ducks, some feeder chickens, and there we go. And a turkey named Thomas. Thomas is my buddy. He follows us around the yard, lays down every time we're doing something. He really is something. We currently have 2 beehives active as well, soon to be 3 when we split the heavy one next week. The greatest part about farming is it gives us the resources to actually help donate produce to our local community. And not just normal produce, but high quality, nutrient dense produce. That's something we were very, very proud of. This is only our 4th growing season, but in our very first 3 years, we were able to donate 1.5 tons of produce. This year, we're planning to take it up a notch. In the past, we've simply donated the extra produce, or we've donated the quantity of produce we knew we wouldn't be able to sell. This year, we're actually going to get together a full group of people, volunteers, and grow as much produce as we can possibly do just to donate to the local communities. This year's goal is 5 ton, maybe more. We're also coordinating with several other local farms throughout the 8th Congressional District to help do the same. It's a very exciting project. Now, my trip to be up here behind this podium has been a long one and kind of an ugly one. Around the 1st of May 2005, I received an official warning order for an deployment to Iraq. I was 21 years old, I'm scared shitless. Roughly 30 days later, on June 5th, myself and the rest of Bravo Company, 2 of the 127th Infantry Battalion loaded buses and headed to Camp Shelby, Mississippi. For the very first time since World War II, Bravo Company and the rest of the 32nd Red Arrow Battalion was headed to combat. I will never, ever forget the day I stepped off of that plane. Now, I stepped out of the plane and a wave of heat hit me like I had never felt before. And I thought it was from the engines, from the plane, because we did something called a hot spot. The plane landed, we got off, there was no terminal, it was just a tarmac, long stairs going down there. And I thought because the engines were revved up so high, that's where the heat was coming from. But by the time I got to the bottom of the stairs and I got farther and farther away from the plane, I realized it wasn't from the engines. It was that hot. I was heartbroken and very thirsty. Now, while I was my time in Iraq, we ran convoy security. So I got to travel the entire theater of operation. Baghdad, Ramadi, Fallujah, Mosul, the whole country. Little over a month of being in country, September 26th, 2005, we had our very first 2 KIA. September 26th is when I started asking why. I didn't know it yet, but September 26, 2005, laying on my bunk, crying my eyes out, was the day I started my journey to be right here behind this podium today. We were told we were fighting for freedom and defending liberty and hunting down weapons of mass destruction, which we still haven't found. Turns out it was all complete horseshit. For a very long time, I was very angry. I felt there was nothing that I could do. There was nothing I could do to right the wrongs of the young Americans that volunteered to lay down their lives and did so with pride. There was nothing being done to help those who were struggling back stateside either. All the time while American politicians were lining their pockets with cash. They taught us how to war. They never taught us how to come home. I personally struggled for a decade or so. Nightmares, PTSD, heavily medicated from the VA. They were giving me prescriptions to counteract side effects from the other prescriptions they were giving me. Every time I went in, I came home with a new pill. Bouts of binge drinking with several failed relationships. One night, I was sitting at the kitchen table and the girl I was dating, sitting at the kitchen table, drunk, with a pistol, the girl I was dating gave me a joint. I actually protested at first because I was still active in the National Guard. She looked at me and said, "Look at you right now. If you do what you're thinking about doing right now, the National Guard isn't even going to matter anyways. At this point, what do you have to lose?" And she was right. So I smoked it. I then proceeded to eat half a birthday cake. Which, that's a whole nother topic. But later that night, I went to bed, and I slept. I slept like I hadn't slept in almost a decade. I didn't have any nightmares. I didn't have any anxiety. I had peaceful sleep. Within 30 days, I was off all prescriptions from the VA. I went the next 2 years without consuming any alcohol. Within the span of 6 years, I went from being heavily medicated, suicidal, living in poverty, to having a 40-acre farm in Door County, Wisconsin, the Cape Cod of the Midwest, standing before you to be the vice chairman of the Libertarian Party of Wisconsin and a United States congressional candidate, and most importantly, the most beautiful wife any man could ever ask for. And I'm only getting started. My time in Congress will be dedicated to getting all of our troops home from abroad, ending the endless wars. The VA is an absolute dumpster fire of an organization, so let's not give our troops a reason to have to go there in the first place. I will also actively work to eliminate marijuana as a Schedule I drug and end the fiscally irresponsible war on drugs that imprisons countless Americans through victimless crimes. As your vice chairman, I plan to focus on building up the current affiliates and starting new affiliates throughout the state. 72 counties, 72 affiliates being the foundation of each and every community through volunteerism. We are the power. We will lead the way. Follow me while we fight for liberty. Thank you.